Hey everybody, welcome back to Agrarian Skies 2. This is Exonerated and I've been doing the work. Let's check it out. I got a lot of things to show you guys and we're gonna make some progress today. So the first thing I did was go over here and kind of work out the shape of the island a little bit. I did cut it off for now. I don't have any vines, and I was trying to look for a way to make vines. And let me turn off that player noise. Oh, there. Now I make no noise. Alright, so I moved the harvester over here, and it's been doing its thing. Hooked up to a nullifier so it gets no sludge. And of course, we've been farming up spruce and rubber trees for no reason. I went through and crafted some tesseracts. Sorry about that. Random pause. I went through and crafted some tesseracts because I didn't want ugly cable going back and forth. So I did that. I put a resident energy cell over here. We've got some resident flux duct running to all our machines. Over here we have our harvester. When it harvests trees and stuff, shoots it down into here. We got two channels. Power overwhelming, that's where we send power out. And then make it so is what we're going to use for our items. Ooh, I did not see that red X. And then down below, of course, we got our little spawner set up with our auto spawner underneath. And we've got our, this is going to be a Cursed Earth spawner when I get Cursed Earth. I've got a harvester over here working with some essence berry bushes. And I've got some whoops, I spun that around. I got some extra essence berry bushes actually in this chest here. And when I get enough from my stone miner, I'll probably turn it around and expand it so that we can keep farming those for essence. Over here, we've got our mob spawner and everything, and I just got a simple kill switch. So all this like recent development with these new rooms and these new power things really draining my system. So I took some time and I went through and I crafted up this thing, a big reactor. The big reactor, I didn't really use any particular kind of setup. I just kind of went with what I wanted. I would like to use gelid cryotheum to fill it though. And in looking, I don't have any way of making gelid cryotheum. Like I got a couple from a quest. But yeah, I'm kind of up a creek right now. So what I did notice is that from one quest, I've got some blizz spawners, or spawn eggs. So what we're going to do, we've got to kind of rush here because we're draining our power system as we speak. This one's draining. This one's okay for now, but this one is draining. And the one back there is draining as well. So we definitely want to rush to get this power set up. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and spawn. We're going to go ahead and spawn in a blizz and hope we can catch it with a safari egg. Yep, we sure can. We're going to pull out our sheep guy. We don't need him anymore. And let's go ahead and close it with the right glass. There we go. Alright, and we'll go down below. Turn on our spawner and get ourselves some blizz powder, which we're going to need. Now, I ran the power up into the room where the resident energy cell is stored. And I have this set up here with these hardened fluid ducts leading over right now to the resident portable tank. So basically, it's only harvesting them as it needs. And let's check it out. It should be spawning them. Alright, cool. Now, I don't have this feeding into the system yet. Sweet! I'll take those. Can I do anything with them? I can make blizz powder. And that's what I need in order to make my cryotheum. Let's just get a couple more. Alright, let's go craft some cryotheum so we can, yeah, have kind of a crappy time here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the weather. I'll be right back. Alright, it's a new day. The sun is shining. Yeah, so I had to craft some niter when making the Cryotheum dust here. And just an FYI, I didn't realize this till I looked. You can pulverize sandstone and get sand back, but then also get niter. So that's what I did. I pulverized a stack of sandstone. So I did a little testing. One gelid Cryotheum will get you a quarter of a bucket, and we're going to need 4 buckets for this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in 15 more, and we'll hold on to this stuff. Now I'm only putting 1 bucket at the top of each column. I'm not actually putting it in every spot, because it's my understanding that works just fine. Alright. We'll put that back in. We only need 4 buckets. We'll dump these off. And here we go. Alright, so we got our reactor. We got our reactor set up. With just a reactor access port, a controller. Right there underneath, I've got a red... What is it? A reactor? It's a... I think it's an energy port, but can't remember the exact name of it. That's not it. There it is, reactor power tap. And then up top, of course, we've got the reactor control rods. Now down each side, or inside rather, we've under the control rod, we've got yellorium fuel rods, and that's just really just glass. And that's where the unit itself will actually store. Ooh, I'm gonna need more than this because it fills in. Today I learned. Huh. Okay. Alright. Well, let's get started on that, I guess. Let's see. Cryotheum. I got 34. Let's do 32. Put them in there. That'll get us 8 buckets. We're going to transfer these guys over. And I guess I'll just fill it in this way when I get the chance. I did not realize it only did 1 liquid at a time per square, so today I learned, but that's okay. We got enough materials. I think we'll be just fine. And there. And I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me do this on camera. At least I can't imagine you would. But I don't think it'll take too long. So, 8 buckets, not going to be enough, quite obviously. There's that, and there's that. Alright, so let's check it out. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need 4 more buckets. Let's check out the situation. I got 1 bucket in there, so I'm going to need 12 of the Cryotheum dust. Let's check it out, see if I can make it. I don't think so. Nope, I need some more Blizz powder. Yeah, the Blizz sticks. I don't have any. So one goes our spawner again for a little bit. Make it with the blizzes. Yeah. While we're waiting on that, might not take too long actually. Yeah, it might not take too long. Let's see, there's 2. Excuse me. Come on. Give me the blizz rods. You are all jerks. Ooh, we killed 3 of them. And got 1 rod. Alright, that'll give me... That might give me enough powder, actually. Let's head upstairs and check. I can't remember if it gives me 1 per or 2 per. Okay, so that's 2 more buckets. So yeah, I need 1 more stick. And we'll have enough. There it is. And I'm going to leave that run until that runs out of essence, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need more of these guys, especially when I expand this reactor later on. Whoops. What are you doing? And you are right there. Alright. So here we go. What did I make 4? I don't know. Alright, we needed a total of 4 buckets, so that's 2. This stuff's pretty easy to make. And I don't think there's even a lot of uses for it beyond like this. To go on down. And one more. Alright, there we go. So we're all full up in our reactor with our liquid cryotheum. So we're going to go ahead and seal it off now. And I got my 4 reactor glass, but I need 5. Excuse me. Reactor, Thor, glass. I just need one more. Which was good because I think I was out of a lot of the parts for that. And the way you know this reactor formed properly is if the border goes through and creates a line like this. It won't form if it doesn't have everything it needs. So the one thing we want to do now is kind of test our reactor. So let's get some yellorium. And what I was doing was I was stockpiling yellorium and throwing it into my furnace every time I needed, or every time I saw it rather. And we're going to go ahead and put our yellorium inside, and you'll see it fills up the rods in there. And let's turn this puppy on, and we'll see we are putting out, wow, we're putting out about 4,000 RF per tick. So, do we need that much? I'm going to say no, we don't. And the way we'll be able to know for sure is by going downstairs here and checking out these energy cells. Now, these energy cells do a good job of transferring enough power to keep our system up. And I've got buffers all over the base, but 10,000 RF per tick, that is filling up pretty good. This guy. Yeah, that's way more. It's already topped this one off. It topped that one off. And we've got 1 million out of 50 in there. So we want to be able to control like the rate of power this thing burns through fuels. Because what it's going to do is it's going to take yellorium, convert it, burn it as fuel, and then put it in here as cyan, I think is what it's called. Not what I wanted. I wanted to know. There it is, cyanide. It makes cyanide ore and spits it back out in this little ejector thing here. So this guy right here, I mean, currently 4.3, 4,300 RF per tick. We don't need that right now. Well, the way you can control how much power these things generate is if you right-click on the reactor control rod. Right now you'll see change the control rod's insertion rate. The higher insertion rate is a slower reaction rate. So basically, the higher this percentage, the slower it uses its fuel rather. So if you hold control, you can actually change all 4 rods at once. I'm going to hold control and press the up arrow. We're going to go to 70% and kind of see what kind of drop we get. Now it'll level off and you'll get to a point where it stabilizes, and we'll see how much power we use. But the idea with this thing is that we want to stockpile power, but we don't want to drain. Right now it looks like it's in the almost 2K. Let's bring it up a little bit higher. Like that, 60%. I want to try to get it around. Okay, so there you go. That's it, roughly 2,000 RF per tick. Now let's check. The way we find out, again, this kind of system requires a lot of kind of touching up checking, seeing how it's doing. Okay, that is still stockpiling, but at a much slower rate, and that's a rate I can get behind right there. So it's going up. We're not using everything we can use at this point in time, but it is going up, and that's where we want to be. We want to be able to stockpile the power in our buffers that are all throughout the underneath of our base. And then this RF, or this big reactor rather, actually has its own buffer of 10 million RF. Now, these guys on the side are still running, but I'm going to tear them out between this episode and next. And what we're probably going to end up doing down the road is expanding out and hooking up some turbines to this guy so we can generate some serious power. And we may even expand him too. That's the cool thing about big reactors. I think they go up to 9x9, which leaves you lots of room for growth and expansion. So as our power system goes up, it too can go up. And so far we don't have any yellorium or cyanide coming out there, so we're good to go. So that's a great way to kind of update our power system. And we've got a huge improvement. Now we can, let our machines run no problem. We've got roughly, with the 200 there and the 80 that's on me, we got almost 300 yellorium plus a stack and a half that's in this guy that are running. And you can see it takes a long time to use fuel. It hasn't even sent out one ore yet. So we'll get a lot of use out of this. And in the meantime, this system will continue to churn away, making lots more. We may even revisit this at some point because currently we're still stockpiling a ton of gravel. But the sand is meh and the dust is empty. Like, I think it generates just enough dust to keep it full. And I even pulled the speed upgrades out. So that just in general, we're just generating a lot more gravel and sand than dust. So, but that's fine. We don't need a whole lot right now. We got plenty of metal. Let's check out our blizzes over here. They've been killing them. And 34, that's a good number. We'll wrap that up. So, this is going to be our Cursed Earth spawner. We're going to, it's just set up as a simple 5x5. I'll put a grinder there. And it'll be able to do its thing. And we'll use that to generate our, this stuff, our mob essence. These guys over here, I'm having it pick seeds for now, but later on I'll use a autonomous activator hooked up to power to generate more mob essence so that basically we can just stockpile. I really wish this mod pack had better tanks, to be honest with you. There's that resonant tank, which was kind of a pain in the butt. You have to power it to even store. Now we do have drums, and of course there's a bedrockium drum that's 65 million RF, or not RF, 65,000 barrels, and that's huge. But do I really want to craft 6 bedrockium ingots that are all made from triple and quadruple compressed cobblestone? I really don't. The diamond I don't care about. It's this stuff that takes forever. But anyway, it's kind of a shorter episode today. The last couple I said were short, and they weren't. But I did want to show you guys the reactor and what was going on here at the base. I have, sheep. Let's slaughter some sheep real quick. I've been taking my opportunity to kill the aminals. I've got a quest to kill 30 pigs, so I try to keep an eye on that chicken. Just walked off the edge. Come here, homie. I got a quest to kill 30 pigs. I got 28 done, so basically, like, I'm flying off into the distance here. Speaking of which, it's time to change out our jetpack. Alright, so I fly off into the distance here, kind of sit down, let some mobs spawn, and then I come back. and kill, and that's how I've been generating the pigs. Speaking of quest, I haven't done a whole lot of questing, to be honest with you. I've been working more on like the process behind setting up the base. There's a lot of things where I'm kind of at a point where I just need to get moving on them. I haven't even gotten into 4 of the hoarding. I did a little bit of Botania, but I've still got these other 4 that need to be finished. Thaumaturgy, I'm really not in the mood to mess with Thaumcraft. Let's see. Blood Magic's not so bad. I enjoy Blood Magic. The Mob Hunter one, I'm just kind of doing it a little bit at a time. I do need to go into the end, or to the Nether rather, and kill this boss. And maybe we'll do that in the next episode. I'll see if I can get some stuff together and we can kill that boss. But yeah, there's tons of mobs to kill. I'm trying to work my way through it. For assembly line, I can't get into this section because it's locked up, but I got everything else done. And, of course, Sky Farm, I'm locked out of. Learning a Skyblock, I just have to do those zones. Oh, speaking of those zones, let's do that real quick. We got a few minutes left. I did make a portal to the last millennium. I don't know how I get back from this. So let me take a second and I'll place this portal and we'll go and check it out and come right back. Alrighty, I'm back and I decided it was time for some armor. So I went through and pulled out my pool again and we're going to make some Man of Steel. Now I know this stuff is not as good as iron, and I'll keep that chest piece it's not as good as Terra Steel, but hey, we got what we got. We're gonna enjoy it. Alright, here we go. Portal to the last millennium.